I'm making a game about delivering love letters across the Milkway galaxy, and I call it Milkway Mailing Inc. So, believe it or not, astrology has been a huge reference for this game. So, let me explain what this game is all about. Well, basically, you deliver packages across the Milky Way galaxy and discover cosmic auras and love stories that transcend the barriers of space and time. So, fundamentally, the you work for a company called Milkyway Mailing Inc. and you are the courier of this company. But the company wants to expand the influence, so they want to expand the business to outside the solar system because as it is currently, it only works in the solar system. But there is something preventing them from reaching that goal, and this thing is a cosmic terror that I called the border one. So let me open. Yeah, Nyx is the border one. This is a Lovecraftian inspired enemy in which it is a main brain on the whole solar system that is preventing anyone from coming in and coming out of the solar system. So this is inspired by, as I said, Lovecraft creatures, so Lovecraft or cosmic terrors, the Blob, and one enemy from .hack GU, that is the final enemy, that is Kubia. That is this thing here. I currently don't like the design that I come out with because I made this design prior to researching these references. So I think that I will remove all these eyes because this is kind of googly. It's not scary. It's just weird. So I will put just one big eye here. Probably I'll add more eyes. I don't know yet. And this is the player's spaceship. So let me explain the game design to you. So you control this spaceship. So let's see full screen. You control this spaceship. I started working on this game last week. Yeah, last week. So this is all very raw still. But the idea is that you control this spaceship. You can open wormholes. So this is kind of like my way to implement a dash in a top-down space shooter game. So you can open wormholes, but they have just you can basically just teleport in short distances. And you fight against space pirates that are trying to collect the packages and the metal ores that you collect by destroying asteroids and other stuff. So you can see that you have like a money count here, and this is the reward for delivering this specific package here, which is a love letter. So the idea behind this game is that this entity that I just showed you, this the border one, this entity right here, it is preventing as I say, it's preventing anyone from leaving or coming into the solar system. And this is because the guardians of the solar system mess things up because of a romance. So they fight against each other, and what happened is that they are throwing tantrums. They don't want to work with each other anymore. They don't want to protect the solar system anymore. And who are these solar guardians? Well, they are the Zodiac Signs. So I don't know if you know about that, but each Zodiac sign has a 30 degrees range around the solar system in which they have an influence on this angle. So the idea, this is basically I'm turning this basically I'm turning astrology into a narrative descriptors because I'm picking up astrology and trying to make up everything related to astrology into a mechanic for this game. So for instance, let me show this. Aries is basically the protagonist of the game because it all starts with him, and it's through him that he's trying to make peace with everyone. Ares calls the whole the whole thing, the whole issue, but he's trying to make peace. He's trying to rekindle with everyone, and it will be through the first mission, that is through Ares, that we are going to unfold the game's story. So the idea is that Ares fought against many people, many other zodiac signs, and many other solar guardians, and everyone is like pissed off with Ares, and he's trying to rekindle things. So the idea here is that when you approach a planet to deliver a package, these zodiac signs, which are the guardians of the planet, will appear and defend the planet, because you what happened is when they fought, they say, no, I won't protect this solar system anymore, I won't protect this border, I don't care, I won't work with you guys anymore, and they went to the home planet. So in astrology, each zodiac sign is ruled by a planet which they call the home planet, and they basically just say, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this shit anymore, I'm going back home. And when you deliver a package to this planet, the guardian will appear, and you can fight against them. You need to fight against them to deliver the package. So in this case, we are fighting against Ares. And something that, well, this is a top-down space shooter, right? So the idea is that when you defeat the guardian, they will give you a power, another power. So the core influence of this game is Mega Man X. Besides, it is a top-down space shooter. The idea is that you have this, let me see, mechanics, the photon charger. As you defeat these enemies, they will give you special powers, because this is a photon charger, so it charges light, and each one of these zodiac signs will change the way that this light will appear, so basically in the spectrum of this photon. And this will give you special powers that is themed as the Solar Guardian personality type. So this is something interesting that I want to talk about. So let's go back into the Solar Guardians areas. Something that I find very interesting about this, just to make it clear, none of what I'm saying here is like, oh, I believe in astrology, I really believe that stars change someone's personality. No, it's not like that. But I find really interesting that we can use these archetypes to systematize the writing of a story. So for instance, I use many archetypes here. So gender archetype, Jungian archetypes, elements, because each element we can abstract it as being one personality trait as well. So fire people are more emotional, rock people are more grounded, air people are like fluid, and water people are like more emotional. And well, quality is more like an astrology thing, but it's important to understand as well. So for instance, Aries is a cardinal sign, which is basically more proactive. It's up for the action. Is more impulsive as well. And I'm also using MBTI types to create the stereotypes for the personality type of these characters. So MBTI is basically a archetype, a stereotype approach to personalities, in which it divides the cognitive processes into perception processes, perception functions like intuition and sense, and judgment functions like thinking and feeling. And all of these four functions of these cognitive functions can be extroverted or introverted, and based on that you can come out with 15 archetypes of personality. Note that, let me make this disclaimer, because I'm guys, you guys are very difficult to work with. Someone will say, oh, so you believe in this pseudoscience thing? No, I don't believe that. It's just that this helps us create and systematize the writing of stories. So this will help me understand the internal conflicts, the core motivations of a character based on these archetypes. So this is the core thing that this helps. And based on that, I also want to show you how I'm drafting the missions, because, well, the whole game will be revolved around completing missions. After all, it's an adventure. Actually, this is very interesting to talk about. There are three primarily game genres. Just like we have like three primary colors or three primary wave types like quadratic wave, triangle wave, and sinusoidal wave. We also have three primary game genres, which is action, adventure, and strategy. And combining this, just like we can combine colors to create new colors, like the primary colors to create new colors, we can create mix and match action, adventure, and strategy to create new game genres. So, for instance, this game leans more towards an adventure type. Besides top-down space shooters or top-down shooters are lean more into action, so I'll have to balance this. But it also has elements of strategy. So action, the action genre, primary genre, is more about your reaction time, so you have to react in real time to things. Adventure is more about exploring the information that the game tries to offer to the players. So fundamentally, it is about in most of the cases about the story of the game, discovering the story, the mystery, the thrill. And strategy is about resource management, so we can mix and match those genres to create new genres. And my game specifically leans more toward adventure and strategy because one of the core mechanics, so these are the mechanics, we have a micro teleporter, which is what I said. You have these wormholes in which you can teleport short distances, which is fundamentally just a top-down space shooter package for a dash mechanic. And you have the photon charger, which is this shot here. The game is heavily based on looting. So when you destroy asteroids or you defeat enemies, they will drop some metal ores like iron ore, copper ore, silver ore, gold ore, and you can pick up this loot and sell in the planets. But here's the twist. Every planet will have an internal economy in which it will raise or lower the prices based on supply and demand. So the more you sell to a planet, the less it will pay for more ores of, let's say, gold, for instance. So you have to run around trying to figure out which planet is offering more for each type of ore. So for instance, maybe one planet is paying more for silver than for gold. This is really interesting. I really want to implement this very tightly, so the market of the game, it will be very funny to play with. And not only that, but there are many stuff regarding looting. So for instance, players will have to spend the money that they get from selling loot into repairing the spaceship, because every mission they will face challenge and they will lose some well, technically they will lose some health from the spaceship, and they will have to pay a proportional amount to repair the spaceship. So they won't, like, this is kind of like a risk reward thing, so they will risk trying to complete a mission with a given health, but they can pay for being more safe into completing this mission. So they repair the spaceship to have more chances of completing this mission. But the game will also have upgrades, and this is something really interesting, because I only realized the need to create upgrades and repair because I figured out that the game didn't have enough incentives for the player to explore. So the game will be kind of like an open world, because it's like an adventure, right? So it's a top-down adventure, but players didn't have the incentive to explore the world and trying to find out the mysteries and fight against all the other enemies that are put in the game. So I was I think that this previous Wednesday working on the design. So you can see that I draw a mini map here. This is the Milkyway Mailing Inc headquarters here. So this is where you are going to start. And well, I figured out that the game needed somewhat internal resources that will make players look forward to together. And I decided that these will be ores. But I think, well, what will the player do with that? What will the player do with the money they get from completing missions. Why would the player complete missions? And I come out with the solution. Okay, they will earn some money, but what will they do with this money? Why do they want this money? So they will need to repair. Well, what if they are really good and they don't need to repair? So I came out with the upgrade system, in which players will be able to, after completing some missions, they will unlock some upgrades or more upgrades for like movement speed, health points, and other enhancements, but also to the mini micro teleporter as well, but also to the weapons. So based on each planet will have a special upgrade that will be an upgrade to the Solar Guardian, so the Zodiac sign that rules this planet. Players will be able to upgrade the weapon. All of these ammunitions are themed as they reflect the personality of the Guardian, right? So the Zodiac sign. So Ares are typically pictured as someone that is very explosive. So their shot will be explosive, and with the upgrades for the Ares shot are going to be a bigger area of effect and more damage, and so on and so forth for every shot that the player gather. But I figure out that this will be a very complex project to work with. It will demand a lot of time, especially because of this economy, this internal economy that I want to implement. So I decided to make a monetization model that allows people to start supporting the project right now. I currently have a goal of $500 to really put like part-time work on this project, so I can hire some people to help me, especially with drawing and art, but also with animation. So let me show you the first implementation of the game. This is just a playground. I'm just testing some basic mechanics, so I don't have anything but the movement. Cool. Yeah, and the combat, but just a very basic combat here. But for instance, if I try to make the glow work, it doesn't work as great as in Godot 3. Threshold, yeah. Besides, it works, but it doesn't work as great as in Godot 3. So things here, besides they look great, they don't work nicely. We need to make many tweaks, and it's not as straightforward as in Godot 3. So I think that I will port this game to Godot 3. It will be safer for me to work there. I have more experience in Godot 3 as well. So if you want to support the creation of this amazing game, you can join the career membership tier. So for $5 a month, you will help the support of this game. You can also commission me to create your love letter and implement your love letter in the game. So as I said, you are a space courier and you deliver love letters and packages, and you will be able to write a love letter for someone. You can make it explicit, or you can make it anonymously, and your message will be a side quest in the game. So you can commission me right now to make this for $20. And that's it. This is my next project. I will be working on it this year, and I'm actually really proud about how things are going with this game. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this overview of my project, the overview of my game design document, which by the way I'm making using Notion, which is an excellent tool. I didn't realize how good Notion is to write game design documents, especially because you can like refer, you can link one page to another and create basically a Wikipedia for your game design document. Oh, by the way, the scope of the first iteration of the game, which is something that I want to complete in 3 months, is this mission right here, mission 0, which is a tutorial. And yeah, I want to use some approaches that I made for Harvester, which is a game that I helped creating for DigiQuest. So I made the animations and all this juiciness and VFX here. So I want to create, this will be the reference for the Milkyway Mailing Inc headquarters, and I want to create those animations here, recreate those animations, but in Milkyway Mailing Inc. So this is the overall art direction for the game, especially for animations and interactions. This will be a mission of 3 arcs, so the demo will be just, hey, welcome to the Milkyway Mailing Inc. We have a mission for you, we have a quest for you, you have to deliver this to Earth. And when players arrive on planet Earth after defeating the space pirates and overcoming the challenge of some asteroids, they will be requested to deliver a special package to Mars, and Mars is the planet of Ares, and only then the players will be introduced to the whole conflict of the game by the end of the arc 3 of the mission 0, so the first mission, which is basically the tutorial, right? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tour on my game design document, my current game design document. If you have any questions, or if you want to say something, if you want some tips about Notion and how you can create game design documents in Notion, let me know in the comments below. But for this video, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, keep developing, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.